President-elect Biden is creating new positions to form a climate agenda that could define his legacy. So what exactly is his plan? Bloomberg Green reporter Akshat Rathi explains.
Green New Deal or not, Joe Biden changes the climate game for everyone in the world. When Joe Biden was projected to become the next US president, climate scientists let out a collective sigh of relief. That's not an exaggeration. For 4 years, President Donald Trump's administration often denied that climate change was even happening or that humans were the main cause.
It'll start getting cooler. You just watch.
I wish science agreed with you.
Well, I don't think science knows, actually.
Both stances that go completely against the scientific consensus. Then, the administration cozied up to the fossil fuel industry, rolling back regulations and increasing emissions. When Biden takes office, it will be a big change, simply because he understands the science and he is interested in cutting emissions. But that's not all. He also has a decent plan to execute. So, what is his plan? It's not the Green New Deal, which is a term Biden's opposition has made toxic. But Biden's plan has many of the elements needed to cut emissions. First, he'll rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement and commit the US to reach net zero emissions no later than 2050. That's crucial. The US is the only country not party to the Paris Accord, and to tackle climate change, all countries need to cut emissions and fast. Second, he'll create green jobs and lots of them. The pandemic caused an economic recession. Biden will have to bring the virus under control and spur economic recovery by creating lots of jobs. If those jobs go to the fossil fuel industry or in building carbon-heavy infrastructure, Biden cannot meet his climate ambition. He will need to create jobs in renewable energy, insulating homes, and adapting infrastructure to a warming planet. Third, he'll make huge investments in clean energy. He's promised to spend $2 trillion on initiatives such as providing carbon-free electricity by 2035. No large country has yet made that promise. He will increase investments in research and innovation. Solar power is cheap today because governments subsidized it when it was expensive. That helped spur technology development and drive down the cost curve. And his plan will address environmental injustices. People of color suffer from climate harm much more than others do. Biden will direct many of his investments to overcoming such inequities. Biden's plan received high marks from experts, but how much can he really achieve? That's still an open question. Biden can achieve a lot through executive action, but if he is to pass legislation, he's going to require the support of both houses of Congress. Biden will need his party, the Democrats, to actually secure a majority in the Senate. That still remains in the balance. What is clear, however, is that Biden will actually work to cut emissions, rather than be indifferent to rising emissions as his predecessor was. That changes the climate game for all of us. This is Net Zero. I am Akshat Rathi. Follow us on Quicktake and Bloomberg.
Our big thanks to Bloomberg's Akshat Rathi for this week's installment of Quicktake's Net Zero segment.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.